Good afternoon, and it is afternoon for once. I'm in the warehouse district and going to walk over in a part of it I didn't walk in last time I was in the warehouse district. So we'll start by going down the alley. Again, this was sort of a busy neighborhood back in homesteading days when people were arriving to buy what they needed to go out and homestead. This is actually a very old house that's still here from those days. And at one point there was a rail line that ran behind the warehouses here. We'll go this way. My intention is, because last time I was in the warehouse district, I walked over between Broad and Albert. I'm going to walk down to Broad and cross over Broad and walk on the other side to get in some of that part of the warehouse district. It's much busier than it was when I was down here on a weekend, so I'll be sure I don't get run over on any of the streets I'll be crossing. Hi, Tim. So there's downtown over there. Arcade, batting cages, food and drink. It's called Ballers Rec Room. Never been in there, but it definitely exists because there it is. Always get a nice view of downtown from over here, especially on a sunny day. Rebellion brew pub over there. Well, not a lot of food to be had there, but some. Not a gastro pub, definitely a brew pub. Gale's Florist here. And I don't know what's going on with this one. All the windows are gone, so hi, Kirk in Vancouver. Actually, Rebellion just had, one of their beers was just named the best, I think it was a Cherry Lambic. It was just named the best beer in Canada, so that's kind of exciting for them. And it's a furniture place over there. Mabel and Martha's vintage style decor. I've been in there. I don't know. All their blinds are drawn, so I don't know if they're still in business or not. Hard to tell. So there's Rebellion over there. Best beer in Canada. Supposedly, for one of their beers won an award anyway. We'll get off of Dudney pretty quick and won't be quite as busy traffic-wise. And this place has been here forever. And that poor thing on the end, waving its arms around, has been there forever too. There's still some flowers left because we haven't had frost yet. It was chilly again this morning, but it didn't frost. I'm going to go right on across and just keep walking down. It's much quieter on the other side of Dudney. Dudney's a major east-west route here between Broad and Albert. I didn't really catch the light. I'd rather be 100%. Well, there you go. Definitely didn't catch it. It's already changed again. So we'll have to wait here for a minute. Lumberyard over there. I bought stuff when we did renovations. That's where we got our door. Can't quite read that, Tim. It's too bright. The building over there, which now says Budget Lines, was a power building. Not SaskPower. When there were sort of private power companies, that was a power station. There's still some electrical stuff behind it. And then I mostly knew it as a photographer's studio, but apparently he's not in there anymore. It's a nice old building. Oh, I really caught this. Well, such a long light too to wait on. Ten, 9, 8, 7. And I'll have to wait for the turn signal possibly. I don't know. There we go. You can see the trees are starting to change more and more. Every time I come out, it seems that there's more yellow. Now, the next north-south main street is Winnipeg, but not all of these roads go through to Winnipeg. This one, in fact, doesn't, I believe. See, there's the old... Well, it does have the provincial... Well, it's not exactly the provincial crest. But yeah, that used to be a power station. A long time ago. Not recently. It's getting quite autumnal along here. Pretty warm today. It's about 22, I think. That's where it was headed anyway. So not too bad. City of Regina. Far L pumping stations. That's for water there. I didn't say this is a particularly scenic area, but it is an area I haven't walked, so. Besides, my plan is to go back to Bushwhackers and work this afternoon, so that's one reason I came this way. A1 Rentals. Anything you need to rent, you can rent here, pretty much. Everything from party supplies to equipment of various sorts. Sorry, I still can't read the screen. It's just too bright. At least there's a sidewalk. Now, a little further down here, there used to be a brewery. I was in it once when it was still... Was it Molson's? I think it was a Molson's brewery. But it closed. Oh, it's very warm up against this corrugated white metal wall. With the sun. That's still the lumber yard over there, I think. And then we're very close to the railroad tracks, as you can see. This is if you're renting party stuff. You come in here, you don't go in the one back there. I've rented various party things in here. I used to have a cat. I would always greet you when you went in. More lumber. Fries Tallman. Possibly Fries. It looks like Fries, but if it was German, it would be Fries, so it's probably Fries. Not exactly a tourist area, I admit, but at least it's someplace I haven't walked before. And the railroad tracks are getting closer and closer. It's a siding. I'm kind of wishing I hadn't worn a black shirt. It's warmer than I thought it would be. Now, if I keep going, I might get to the point where I can't go any further. Yeah, it ends up here, so we'll go up here now. Something brand new is being built over there. It looks like. Don't know what, or something being renovated. Millwork, cabinets, doors. I would guess that's what all the dust collection equipment is over there, because they have lots of sawdust running around. Streamline contracting, emergency lighting, and electronic installation. Well, here we are on 8th Avenue, which has some more interesting buildings on it. On the other side, not so much on this side. One building up here I know very well. Now, a lot of these are in my book, and I had every intention of looking and seeing so I could talk about them more intelligently, then I forgot. Here's some shade. Maybe I'll be able to read the screen here. Find the shade. There's the shade. Still can't read it. Long crane loads of new condos going up. The big swing. Well, I walked by it last time I was in the warehouse district. I'm not sure what the plans are for it. The big warehouse that used to be Sears. Big warehouse. That's the new whatever it is they were building there that I didn't think I could walk by. So you get a lot of these red brick, older buildings. I'd like to get over to the other side, which I think I can do now. The low building coming up has various things in it, but the main thing I know it for is that's where the Saskatchewan Writers Guild offices are. So I've been in there many times. There's other things in there, but that's what I know it for. Green City Glass. Been there a long time. You can tell by the sign. So the intersection coming up, where I will actually probably end up walking back more or less exactly along this same road, because there's no good way to get through over there. There's a bunch of city stuff. There may be a certain amount of a repetition here. Over in that strip mall over there is Nikki's Cafe, very popular spot. Been there a long time as well. Now this is interesting. This is the, at one time, there was a General Motors car factory here. 20s maybe, 30s. So that's what this was originally. And that back there is more of the factory part behind it. This was kind of the office building. There's a lot of things in there now, including the Saskatchewan Book Awards office is in there. CJTR Community Radio, where at one time I had for several years, I had a radio show that I did in there with CJTR. They're headquartered in there. So you can see it still says GMC on the front, over the doors. Old logo, GMC. There's Nikki's Cafe over there. And again, back here, you can see more of the old factory. This is a weird kind of junk salvage store over here. You can find all sorts of old things. I think we found, or we were looking for a sink or a faucet for our old sink in the house, because it is a very old sink. And I can't remember if we found one in there, but we certainly looked in there. Now we're on Winnipeg Street. Everybody's looking at me wondering if I'm a cop with a radar gun. And this will take us right down by the old factory, General Motors factory here. I'm gonna have to go quite a ways down this way in order to go back the way I came. Oh no, I can go through here. Okay, we'll go through here. So the office building on our left, and the old factory here on the right. I don't know what, if anything, is in there now. Probably not much. Ah, nice shade. Yeah, I've done radio shows and I've done TV shows. Hosted a call-in computer show on community television for more than a decade. It was a nice gig while it lasted. They were paying me not a lot, but I was getting paid every week for that while it was on, so. So this is all factory over here, or was once upon a time. I really have no idea where I can and can't get through, so. Yeah, well, not going in there, that's for the city. Sort of road supplies and stuff. I may be trapped. I may have to go around the corner here. No, there should be a... You can't drive through, but it looks like you can maybe walk through. Go through traffic. I don't want traffic, but there's cars in there, so there has to be a way out. Way over there is the Sears Warehouse, still standing, but empty, as far as I know. There we go. At least I got to do a little bit of a different side of the street walking back there. I think this was connected to the GM 2 factory. Pretty big complex, as you would expect from a car factory. Cloud Rider Designs. I don't know what they design. Clouds, I guess. Here, I thought those just happened. Oh, still some flowers. Now we're walking back along 8th. Here's Toronto Street. But I think it ends in the... Yeah, it does. It ends in the compound over there, too. Looking for a fixer-upper. It's for sale. This one looks like a bit of a fixer-upper, too. Father's Furniture Gallery. This used to be a mattress store. This is where we bought our mattress when we got married, but it was a different company then. You can see shooting a movie down here, some sort of post-apocalyptic thing. Ottawa Street also ends, more or less. So there's the front of Father's Furniture Gallery, if it's still open, hard to tell. Oh yes, and of course we had our election yesterday. $600 million to give us exactly the same parliament we had before the election, pretty much, as far as the party breakdown goes. So, way to go, Trudeau. Saskatchewan looks like it's a solid conservative sweep of this province, so you won't find a lot of Trudeau fans out here. McPherson Tom. This is St. John Street. Can I go through if I go down it? Maybe, maybe not. I don't think. Well, it might. I'll walk down here anyway. Industrial gases and welding supply store. I'd have to go down 2 blocks, and then I think I can go down another block. So I don't know if I want to bother with that or not. The next street certainly doesn't go through. So I think I'll go back to 8th for the moment. Certainly no way through there. Whenever I come this way, I'm always just on 8th, so I don't really know how the other streets work. Because if I'm coming this way, I'm almost certainly heading toward Saskatchewan Writers Guild or CJTR book awards or whatever. There's another brewery over here. Is this the district? I think this is district. Yeah. Another one of our local brewery, District Brewing. They make good beer too, right over there. District, because this is the warehouse district. This is Western Cycle. So it's a sporting goods store. Over here. I bought one of my daughter's bicycles in here once. Okay, we can definitely go up this one to 7th. your source for sports. And perhaps appropriately, there's a boxing club next to it. Lonsdale Boxing Club. Weyburn had quite an active boxing scene when I was down there. What was his name? Oh, it'll come to me later. I think he'd even been an Olympic boxer one time. So there was lots of boxing. I had to cover it as a newspaper reporter. Not my sport, but you can certainly get interesting photos. I also remember getting blood on me because I was sitting right up front by the ring. Blood and sweat. So it's like, ugh. Now this is an old, I think it was a cold storage facility. It's been turned into condos. So you can't really see it, but there's a wonderful, beautiful yard. I think there's even a pool back here behind the fence. Maybe I can see it if I go across. Be able to see enough to see what's in there. Is it a pool or just a nice backyard? Oh, there's a pool. Not much to see, hard to see through here, but there's a pool. See? Look. There you go. I've been in one of those condos must have been on one of the Davin homeschool tours. And they were very nice. So it's very interesting because it's an old building and the outside still looks old, but the condos are all super nice and modern inside. Okay, this is 7th. It's like I could have gotten onto it down there, but I couldn't tell for sure. Yeah, he can plan that, but he's not still going to be Prime Minister by 2025, Lord willing. Also, the only way that electric cars make sense is if you have nuclear power plants to charge them. Otherwise, out here, if you have an electric car, it's coal-powered because that's where our electricity comes from. So you're just moving the greenhouse gas emissions from one place to the next. It's not coming out your tailpipe, but it's coming out the exhaust of the power station. But a lot of the same people that claim to be concerned about the environment because of carbon emissions are dead set against nuclear power, even though it's the cleanest, most efficient power we have. And of course, Saskatchewan has, what, a quarter of the world's uranium or something like that, so by all means, let's go nuclear. Now, I walked by this one before. Queen City Cakes in there makes really good cakes. This was a John Deere building originally, I believe. It has massively thick floors, so they had farm equipment, even though it's a 5-story building. They had farm equipment up on the upper floors. And it's now called Brownstone Plaza. Has a number of things in it. That's where the Rough Riders played once upon a time, over there. That's a nice coffee shop in there. And the big taller building, the white one, was the Sears. Well, that was originally that was the original Eaton's, if I remember right. And it was built on the place where the field was at the original Saskatchewan Rough Riders, who were a there's a bar I've never been in. although it's an old building. They were a rugby club originally, of course. Another boxing place. This used to be a furniture store. Don't know when that closed. Don't know why I just remembered that. This used to be, it is still a bakery, but it's not the one it used to be. Bakery and deli. Should check it out sometime. All right, now we'll go down 6th. The other side's probably a little better than this side. This is where we're in the car dealerships now. And of course, sometimes the old signs tell you what they used to be. That used to be the Army and Navy Warehouse department store. I remember coming to the Army and Navy department store as a kid with my parents. And again, some of these warehouses are in my book, but I didn't read it before I came, so. We sell for less, Army and Navy. I guess this is where we came. Unless they had a storefront somewhere else and this was just the warehouse. Now that's a furniture store. Don't know what it was originally. We can walk down further this time now. Again, I can't read the screen, so. Castle furniture, lots of furniture places down here. Continental furniture. Oh, maybe this is where we bought our mattress. I thought it was over there, but it might have been this one. They're very similar. And this one still has mattresses, so it might have been here. It was almost 25 years ago, coming up on our 24th anniversary. Well, certainly right out of sidewalk. Just parking lots. At least there are stop signs on the crossroads, so. The Shake Shop, cedar and pine lumber, not fine lumber. I have no idea what that is. Executive Mat Service, Eco Grove. Don't know. Play Creative. Cheap rents down here, possibly. I don't know. And there we are again with the city. St. John Yard. Asphalt production, it says. Drive straight ahead for asphalt plant. No thanks. Don't have any real use for asphalt, especially not on foot. It'd be hard to take it home. It's kind of a long fence there. There's a bit of color, almost scenic. Sorry, still too dark, or too bright for me to read the screen with any ease. Well, that's rusting. Rusting in peace. now we're on 5th. I know nothing about 5th, not a street I ever walk along. And no sidewalk, so that's the shake shop there. Cedar and pine lumber. General Paint. The other side of Continental Furniture. Furniture World. There's a lot of furniture places down here. And there's the Sears place coming up again. And some shade, so I might be able to read the screen again. Yes, lots has changed, that's for sure. Just in the 30 years I've been here, lots has changed. It's hard to remember when we were first here what has changed. Although, to be sure, that's one of the things that's changed, because it's empty now. Now, I will go down this way, because this used to be where I brought my car, but he's gone now. That's BMW there, I think. Fairly new. Got a new radiator in here, although we don't have a sign that indicates what it is anymore, but I presume it's still the same place. For our old Cadillac we have. Plumbing and heating, accounting and taxation, Aztec water solutions, probably water softeners, I guess. Platinum recreation and power sports. And then this used to be Brad's Auto, and he was the Volvo guy for years and years and years. But he closed down his shop, and I don't know, it says Toys for Boys now on it. Pokey's Tackle Shop, so that'd be for people fishing. Over there's the public school board office. And there's city greenhouses over there too, and another furniture place. Costco. Austin Mini on this side. Now we're heading back toward the car. That's a BMW, not a Mini. There's lots of Minis sitting here. Mini Regina. So yeah, this, I remember watching this being built when I was bringing my car in, so it hasn't been that long ago. Cemetery over there. I don't want to wait for the light, so I will go on around the corner. This is 4th, in case you're wondering. And here's the BMW place. looking down Broad toward downtown now. And there's the old Sears Warehouse. I don't know if there's anything in it at all now, or maybe there's an office or something, but nothing else. It's the sort of place you could see being turned into condos for sure. But I don't know if there's any demand for that. There's a pedestrian crosswalk up here I will take advantage of. Infinity dealership is the next one. So it's all this Dilawri auto group along here. Some of the higher end brands. This will work out pretty close by the time I get back to the car. That's it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, just looking at it, you think it might be turned into something like that, but obviously there'd have to be a market for it and investors willing to put in the kind of money it would take to do it. And, you know, I have no idea what the interior is like. I've never been in it. So who knows what would be involved. It'd be a multi-million-dollar project for sure. I half expect it to get imploded one of these days. Now, last time I was down here, I mentioned that that building is where I first worked when I came to Regina in '88. That's where the Saskatchewan Science Centre offices were while they were still completing construction on the Science Centre itself, which is also in an old building, the former powerhouse down by the lake. Went from being a powerhouse to being the powerhouse of discovery. And the IMAX Theater is in an attachment that used to hold supplementary generators. I guess there's probably still some steel work inside the IMAX Theater that goes back to when it was a shed, basically, but otherwise. Basically, the building was gutted, both of them, and turned into the Science Center. And we were up here. My office was on this side on the 3rd floor. We were building exhibits on the 4th floor. And I was the communications officer. So I was writing exhibit copy and doing our newsletter and arranging press conferences and going on TV shows and talking about it, that kind of stuff. And the next year, we were only here a few months, or I was only here a few months. And then in '89, so this is one that's been turned into condos. In '89 it opened, and then we moved over there. For a while, our offices were in the it's turned into the gift shop eventually, and eventually we got our proper offices upstairs. And I had a very nice office. I was there for 5 years. So this was a Sears, like I said, it was originally Eaton's, and then this was kind of their discount store. And it went away, and now it's got a kind of a permanent market in it, Centennial Market. All sorts of little booths and things. I don't think I've been in there since it became Centennial Market either. Antiques. Regina's cattle arena. No, battle arena. I didn't think I'd ever seen cattle around here. Centennial Market itself is right here. The Shock House, haunted house. Huh. I should check it out. Maybe I could come and sell books. I can set up a pretty impressive display, and have often done so at Fan Expo and Sask Expo. But obviously we haven't had any of those for a couple of years. I don't know if they'll come back. Sask Expo hasn't updated its website for a year or more, which doesn't make me feel good about their return. Oh yes, this is a big, boring parking lot. But, see, I get further away, you get a better look at the old store. There's another remnant of an old house over there from the early, probably your teens or something like that. And not the 20 teens either. Pat's Pets, popular pet store. Richardson's Lighting, we bought lighting for our house when we were doing renovations there. Roger. It's a nice day. Not too hot. A little warm when I was up against buildings wearing my black shirt, but generally speaking, quite pleasant. Richardson's Lighting. Klein's Electric. DKM Engineering Limited. Sean's Property Management. That could be an old house too. Oof! Watch out for that. Crown Computers. And see, there's still a few of the old houses. They're still tucked away in here. It's always hard to tell if anybody's living in them or they're being used for something else. Prairie controls, if you need to control your prairie. I'd like to control the weather sometimes. Plumbing and heating. Outlaw Trail Spirits. Must be a distillery. Off the Leash Pet Grooming. GB Audio Production Service Rentals. Bug just hit me in the eye. United Floors. Because if there's one thing you don't want, it's a disunited floor. United Floors. United we floor. Divided we wall. That's almost a joke, but not quite. It was funny when I thought I was going to say it. Not so funny after I said it. Woodcogger. But they don't make cogs. as in shoes. Almost back to the car. Men want it. Well, oh, for haircuts. Styles for success. Perhaps could have waited for him, but I made it. Professional Firefighters Association. Another little house. Some of these are businesses for sure. Vern's Pump House Limited. Motorcycle, don't want to step in front of him. Worse, he's electric. One of the hazards of electric vehicles. He was silent. If I'd stepped out without having looked, he probably would have run me over. And here's the back of Bushwhackers, and I happen to be parked close by. Well, it's not technically all Bushwhackers, but there's stuff upstairs, I guess, but Bushwhackers is what we all think of it as. And I will stop in the shade here, so there you go. Nice view of downtown as we wrap up. So thanks for walking with me, and I'll be back tomorrow. Bye for now.